Well, we've had a fire break failure. And can you tell what it is? The fire break failure? Can you tell? Things look pretty green. The fire break fail. I don't see any burns. What's the failure? What could the failure be? Do you see a hint? Ah, here's the hint. I did not get the fire break wide enough. So the problem was conflicting rules on fire breaks. And unfortunately, the state of Tennessee rules don't match the federal USDA NRCS fire break rules. And I had been measuring 8 to 10 feet with my hands and my arm. And unfortunately, it has to be down at the ground and clear dirt. So, for example, clear dirt at this is about 7, if I'm generous, maybe 8 feet. I need 2 more feet, which means this tree needs to go. And guess what? It is pinned in here in all directions. So as we look at this, that's the tree that has to come out, and it is pinned in at the crown everywhere. So it's not a big tree. It's maybe only 5 or 6 inches in diameter, but we literally have nowhere for it to fall. We are completely fenced in by trees. So this is going to be a problem. So welcome back to Building the Farm, where I make the mistakes so you don't have to, and this one's going to be a mistake. We got to correct the fire break, get it wider, take this tree out. It's totally trapped. So we're going to film me taking this down and all the mistakes I make. I honestly, maybe I can get it to fall through here a little bit, but let's see what we can do. Maybe if I put a rope on it and pull, we can get it to fall between these trees. So I'm going to try and throw this rope so we can get it as high up the tree as possible, and we'll try pulling it in that direction. Problem is there's so many dead branches, I don't know what we're going to get here, but at least if it's farther up, it'll be better. There we go. All right, not too bad. And what we'll do is we'll put a snatch block out here. Yeah, we'll run a snatch block out here, and then we'll be able to pull it that way. We'll pull with the rope that way, but the tree will fall this way. So let's get that rigged up. Well, my rope came down a little bit, but it's still pretty high. So we've got a snatch block and a 5,000-pound tow strap. And this is the general direction we want to pull the tree because it's the least congested in the sky. So we'll just put this strap around. So then we open up our snatch block. As always, affiliate links on Amazon for this gear. The rope, the snatch block, and everything. Come on. There we go. And the nice part with these snatch blocks is you can swing them open. Now, for us, it's not that big of a problem because the end of the rope is here, but if you're dealing with a long rope, you can actually open them and put it back in the pulley. So, but in our case, not that big of a deal. We're then going to put our tow rope, snatch block on, close down our clasp. And now we'll take this rope back to the UTV. I'll just bring our UTV down to the rope. All right. Now we just need to cut the tree. Now I'm going to cut this on the high side so that I can push it over with the skid steer later when we make this wider. So I'm going to do the notch on this side, put some tension on the rope with the UTV, and then we'll come and do the back cut. And the chain came off. Real world cutting. And that's a problem when you're using it over your head. So take a break and get the chain back on. Well, chain's back on. I thought it was a little loose. I had been cutting another part of the farm and I just should have stopped and tightened it up, but no damage done. So our cut here is a little sloppy because it's hard for me to see. I'm actually down in a hole. I'm going to clean this up from standing on that side, show you my backside, and then we'll put a little tension on the rope, and then we'll come back and do this back cut and hopefully get it to fall in the right direction. All right, not my most beautiful job. You really don't want to get this far back. So I went a little deeper than I should have. Really want to stay in about the first 1/3 of the tree. But we're going to be okay because I'm going to leave a thick middle here and hopefully just pull it over with the skid steer. I'm going to get a little back pressure with the skid steer first. I'm not trying to pull it over. I just want to put some tension on it. Let's make sure we're all set. Yeah, we're good. Back up a little bit. Let's try that. All right. So if this works, the tree should fall in line with the rope and hopefully between those two pine trees and not get too hung up. So let's back cut it a little bit. We'll do the back cut and then we're going to pull it the rest of the way. That should be enough. Let's see if we can pull it over. Well, I have been having some problems with the UTV and its power, and I think we're having a little problem. So let's cut some more. We're just going to have to use gravity. So we're now sitting on the stump on the hinge cut, but we're hung up in the trees. And this is exactly what I was concerned with, that because we were so trapped in here, we weren't going to get this to fall. And it's not going to fall. So what do we do now? Well, what we need to do is get it off its post. And again, normally it would have fallen over, but too much canopy. So, plan B. So sometimes what you can do is hit it with a hammer. And it looks like it's moving. So we'll go in that direction. I'm going to reposition myself so that when it comes off, it can't land on me. Off. Now our problem is we're hung up in the canopy, and there's really no room to pull it backwards, no room to move it forwards. So now we need a plan C. Well, this thing is totally hung up in the trees. There's no way to get it to go that way. My UTV is having power problems, so I cannot pull the stump up out of the dirt because it pushed itself into the soft earth, so I can't just yank it this way. Even with the block and tackles, I don't think I'd make a lot of a chance. I'm going to have to make a very risky cut and hinge this to get it to fall and hopefully get out of the way. Do not do this normally, but I don't see how else I can get this thing out of here. Well, something's going wrong with the UTV. It could barely back up the hill with just me on it, so something's wrong. But what I rigged up is a block and tackle with a doubling force. And so I'm hoping that just with muscle and some block and tackle work here, we can pull the tree over this way. It was going to be too dangerous to try and ladder cut that thing down. It's too vertical already. So let's back up the camera and give it a try. Okay, it's going vertical. Better than I expected. Yes, all the way down to the ground. All right, now we just need about 1,000 more feet of widening the fire break to 10 feet. Thanks for watching. Don't make my mistakes. Aha, building the farm. Learn from my mistakes. Have a great day.